When people hear about conflict or disruption in the Middle East, the first concerns are usually oil prices, geopolitics, or military escalation. Yet beneath these headline issues lies a far more dangerous and silent threat: a global food crisis. According to warnings from the United Nations, the world may be entering a critical phase where food production, affordability, and availability are at serious risk, not years from now, but within months. At the heart of this looming crisis is the Strait of Hormuz, one of the most strategically important maritime passages on Earth. Recent disruptions to shipping through this narrow waterway are already affecting global supply chains for oil, natural gas, and fertilizers, the essential building blocks of modern agriculture. A senior UN economist has warned that the clock is ticking. Farmers across Asia, Africa, and Latin America are currently making planting decisions. If they lack fuel or fertilizers today, the consequences will be felt in harvests tomorrow and on dinner tables around the world soon after. This article explains how the Strait of Hormuz disruption connects to food security, why the next 90 days are critical, which countries are most vulnerable, and what could happen if global trade is not restored in time. Understanding the strategic importance of the Strait of Hormuz. The Strait of Hormuz is a narrow stretch of water connecting the Persian Gulf to the Arabian Sea. Despite its small size, it carries an outsized share of global trade. Approximately 35% of the world's seaborne oil, 20% of global liquefied natural gas, 20 to 30% of internationally traded fertilizers pass through this single choke point. Any disruption, whether from military tension, insurance risks, shipping delays, or partial closures, has immediate global consequences. Unlike many supply chain problems, Hormuz disruptions cannot be easily rerouted. There is no alternative passage that can absorb this volume of trade quickly. When ships stop moving through Hormuz, energy prices rise, fertilizer shipments stall, and transport costs spike, all of which directly affect food production. The UN warning: why this is different from past crises. The warning comes from Maximo Torero, chief economist at the UN Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Speaking publicly, Torero emphasized that the world is entering a dangerous convergence of timing and dependency. What makes this situation especially alarming is when it is happening. Many countries are already in or entering their planting season. These include Pakistan, India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, Sudan, Kenya, Brazil, Thailand. Farmers in these countries must decide right now how much land to plant and how many inputs, fertilizers, diesel, irrigation, to use. If supplies are limited or prices are too high, farmers reduce usage. That leads directly to lower yields, regardless of how good the weather may be later. In agriculture, lost time cannot be recovered. Fertilizers, the hidden backbone of global food production. Modern agriculture depends heavily on fertilizers, particularly nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. These nutrients are essential for crops such as wheat, rice, maize, and vegetables. Many fertilizers are energy-intensive to produce, highly dependent on natural gas, traded globally. Disruptions in Hormuz affect both fertilizer production, due to higher gas prices, and fertilizer distribution, due to shipping delays. When fertilizer prices rise, large commercial farms reduce application rates. Small farmers may skip fertilizers entirely. Crop yields fall by 10 to 40%, depending on soil and crop type. This is not theoretical. Similar patterns were seen during the 2007-08 global food crisis, the COVID-era supply chain disruptions, the early phases of the Ukraine war. The difference now is scale and timing. Energy, agriculture, and the cost spiral. Energy is deeply embedded in every stage of the food system. Fuel for tractors and harvesters, electricity for irrigation pumps, gas for fertilizer manufacturing, Diesel for transport and refrigeration. When oil and gas prices rise due to shipping disruptions, production costs increase. Food processing becomes more expensive. Transport costs surge. Retail prices rise. For wealthier countries, this means higher grocery bills. For poorer countries, it means reduced access to food, increased malnutrition, and potential political instability. The critical 90-day window explained. Maximo Torero emphasized a 90-day recovery window if a deal is reached to restore shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. Why 90 days? Because shipping schedules need weeks to normalize. Fertilizer contracts must be renegotiated. Markets require time to absorb shocks. Distribution networks need to restart fully. If trade resumes within this window, fertilizer flows can recover. Farmers may still salvage yields. Markets can stabilize prices. A full-scale food crisis may be avoided.